Hey guys, so I'm building some cabinets in the shop for some wall units that I'm doing, and I just want to go over how I domino these together because doing cabinets with butt joints can get a little confusing, and there's also some dados too. So to build my cabinets, I have a bottom, I have two sides, and then I have the strips, one that goes on the back of the top and the front of the top. So I'm going to get rid of these right now because I'm not working with these, and we're just going to work with the bottom and the two sides. So the first thing I'm going to do is decide where the inside is, because the inside is going to be the good side, since you're not going to see the outside of these cabinets. I'm going to mark the piece and the front of it. So this is the bottom and it's the front. So now that I know that that's the bottom and the front, I know this is the inside, and I know that there's going to be a dado that goes around the entire inside of this box to put my plywood back on. So I'm just going to mark a line here. I'm going to write dado so that I know the dado is going here. Then I also know the sides are going to join into the side, and there's going to be a domino here, and a domino here, and a domino here, and a domino here. So I'm going to mark that. So that's my bottom. Then I have my right side here. So my right side is going to sit like that. This is the front. This is the inside. Again, I'm going to mark my dado. And then if this is the right, I know that there's going to be a domino that goes here, and the domino goes here so that I can attach the sides to the bottom. So if that's the right, this is going to be the left. This is going to be the inside. Dado, domino, domino. Okay, so now this is the important part here. So what I'm going to do now, and this is where you can mess it up, because you always want to put the bottom on the bottom and the sides on the sides, but you can't mark it that way. So what you're going to do is you're going to take one of the sides. So this is my right side. I'm going to put that on the bottom. Let me move the camera so you can see this a little bit better. Okay, so again, so we have the side laying on the bottom. I know that there's a domino going here and a domino going here. And then the actual bottom, so this is the inside of the bottom, and this is the bottom of the bottom. The bottom is going to sit like this. Okay? Now what you want to do is you want to mark now where the plate on your domino cutter is going to sit to cut your dominoes, because this is where it gets confusing. So my plate is going to sit on this edge grain here, so I'm going to draw a line, and it's going to sit on the back of the bottom. So this is where, and sometimes it's right, so I know what this line's for. I'm just going to write plate, the plate of the domino, and plate again. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. I know that it's going to sit like this. And I know you can't see this, but I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to draw a line in the back, and then mark plate and plate here. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go to the table saw with my dado blade. All right, so I have my three boards here. I have the line where the dado is going to go, and I'm just going to run all three boards now through my dado stack, which is set a 1/2 inch high, and it's a 1/2 inch wide. And the back of this is going to have 1/2 inch plywood on it. All right, here we go. Okay, I have all my pieces datoed now. So now I have the bottom piece in my hands here. And remember, the bottom piece was sitting on top of the side like that when we marked it. So here's the side marked on the bottom, on the edge, and then here's the bottom marked on the side. And this, again, this is where the plate of the domino is going to sit. All right, so let's domino the bottom first. So there's where my plate is going to sit. I'm going to slide this into my bench to hold it. I'm going to lock it in. I'm going to grab my domino cutter here. I'm going to hook up the dust extraction because I didn't do that. Plug it in. Get the dust hose set up. Grab a domino for you. All right. So I'm using 6mm by 40mm dominoes. So normally you would set the domino on 20 deep so that it's, half of 40 is 20. But since my 3/4 inch birch plywood is only about 18mm, the 20 would blow through it. So on the bottom, where the domino is going to go in this way, I can go as deep as I want. So I am going to set that at 25. And then on the sides, I'm going to set them at 15. So we have our 40. All right. And for this, I want a tight fit. And then on the sides, I'm going to do the medium fit. So I'm going to turn this on to adjust it. Oh, and I also need to lay out my dominoes, which I did not do. I just marked which side they were going on. So I am going to go 2 inches from either side, and that's where my domino is going to live. So that's my reference line, 2 inches in from each side. Now, an easy thing I could have done is I could have used the little tabs on here, and as my reference, I could just lock the tab on the end there. But the reason why I'm not doing that is because this dado here kind of gets in the way. So I'm just going to do the 2 inches from each side. So now that I have that set, going to turn on my domino. Okay, there's my dominoes, 25mm deep. I'm going to grab a side now. Okay, so this is the side here, and the dominoes are going here, but the plate is going to rest here. So again, let me just mark my 2 inches. This one is here. Push it up against my stops. So now for this, I added my little fence stabilizer here to the bottom. And how I like to do this, so first let me adjust the depth before I forget. So again, this is going to be on 15, so I'm going to move that to 15 so I don't blow through the sides. And then I also want this on the medium setting so that I have some wiggle room. So I'm going to adjust that when I turn it on. Remember, you need to turn the tool on to adjust the width. And what I'm going to do, and where this little extension comes into play, is domino is going to be sitting like this. Remember, I have the line here. That's the plate reference. So this line means the plate reference. So I'm going to drop the plate on here. And then this little extension here helps me stabilize it this way. And then I just like to take my thumb and place it here and just plunge down nice and easy. So here we go. Okay, so there's my 2 dominoes. They're a little bit elongated so that I have some movement laterally. And let's just see how it fits. All right, guys, so I did exactly what I was trying to show you guys not to do. So when I went from 25 on here, I was supposed to go to 15, and I guess the way I was looking at it, I couldn't tell, and I put it on 20 instead of 15, and I blew through the side there. Right through, straight through. I don't know if you can see that, but believe me, that goes straight through, so I just ruined this piece. So don't do what I did. All right, let's do this again. I'll do it off camera so you don't have to go through it. Domino the other half. I got to cut a new board for the right side, the one that I messed up, so you can see those don't go through. And I have some dominoes in here that I marked with T's. Those are my test dominoes. All I did here was I just took my hand plane and planed the outer spline off, just so it's easier to get in and out for a dry fit. So what I'm going to do is, this is the deeper side, so I'm going to just drop this in there like that. Drop this one in here like this. I can almost push them in with my fingers since the spline is removed. Here's my other side. Let me just get this lined up. And I'm working on my left side here, which is a little harder for me since I'm righty. Now let me, I'm just gonna come around to the side and hit it from this side. All right, now we're in. And the reason why I did the wider setting on 1/2 is just so I can align it. So right now it's off about 30 seconds. I'm just gonna tap this over. And now it lines up beautifully. And then the back of the box is going to have a 1/2-inch plywood that sits in this dado here. So this is how I build my cabinet carcasses. All right, I hope that helps you guys out because, like I said, it does get a little confusing. The name of the game here is just marking your pieces, marking which side it's going to be, where your dado is going to go, and where your plate is going to reside, which surface your plate's going to reside on, and then it also helps just to mark where the dado is going to, or where the domino is going to go as well. This way, you don't make any wrong holes. And if you're dealing with dominoes that are deeper than your pieces, remember, let's change that setting. Don't do what I did. Okay, so I just want to show you a full cabinet here, just how it was constructed. So the bottom sides, these are dominoed, like I said. The back piece of plywood sits in that dado. You can see where the bottom and the side meet. I got that little space here, but no one's ever going to see that, so that's fine. And then for the top, what I did on the top here, these little slats, so there's going to be a countertop that sits on here. But I just pocket screwed these in, and the reason why I chose to pocket screw this is it was just easier for assembly. Instead of trying to line the bottom dominoes up and the top dominoes up at the same time when I'm putting these sides on, I did the 2 sides on the bottom first, and then I put these in after, and it was just easier to slide it in and clamp it than it would be to try and line every one of these dominoes up and try to put it together that way. So, whatever works best for you, but this is how I build my cabinet boxes. All right, guys, I hope that helped you out. I'll see you on the next one.